All right. So, body check in. First thing is to just take some inventory of what kind of a day landed in your body. What kind of a day felt like it registered? Were there sensations of tension or congestion or giddiness or confusion or curiosity, whatever that needs to be? How did it land in your body as you were moving through the day? And as you take a moment with that, I'm going to ask you to do a dumping breath. A dumping breath is this weird Darth Vader like thing that I'm going to ask you to do, where you take an inhalation through your nose and then exhale with your mouth open as a way of just doing a deep lung cleanse. And then you're going to exhale as long as you can. Keep extending the exhalation until you feel like you're almost coughing just a little bit. And so if you're someplace where people are going to be like, dude, are you okay? Feel free to just let them know ahead of time. This is on purpose. And find yourself grounded in your chair, sits bones connected with the seat. Take a big inhalation, if you would please. We talked about radiant breath, expanding your body in all directions as if you're kind of blowing up, and then exhale, 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 exhale. Keep going with the exhalation until you feel like you're almost running out of breath and just squeezing out all the stale air in your lungs. And then pause and slow in breath, just as a way of flushing the lungs. Yep. And then I'm going to invite you to stand for a moment. So feel free to just get up in front of your computer. And as you're standing, do me a favor and give a little bit of a micro bend to your knees so they're not locked out, right? It's just a little tiny micro bend. You're going to lift and tap your heels to the ground. Just let your heels thud down. And as you do that, tighten your low belly. And that repeating tapping is going to send kind of like a vibrational channel up through the middle of your body. Just tap, 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 tap. You actually get to choose the speed of your tapping. Big breath while you're doing it. And as each vibration reverberates up the body, you can go ahead and keep tapping. See if you can trace a vibration. You can even slow down the tapping if you need to. See how far it resonates up and see if you can trace it all the way into the crown of the head, depending on how you stack the bones of the body. And just tapping gently. Yeah, a few more taps. About 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your hands, palms up, and just give them a tremor. Just wiggling the fingers. I'm trying to act like I have a wrist brace on, and it's just my fingers that are wobbling. Flushing the nervous system. I'm going to make claws, and I'm going to twist the claws back and forth so the whole arm is rotating in the shoulder socket. Big breath. And then bring the claw up as if you're washing a windshield. And then blades, a little stretch of the arms forward and backwards. Big breath. Open up your arms behind you and let it open up your chest. Just let your arms melt down. Shoulders sinking down towards your back pockets if you have some. Then at the bottom, rotate your hands, curl your spine, round your back. And let some space come between your shoulder blades. And release down. I invite you to hold on to a chair or the wall. Take one leg and just literally shake it like a weirdo. Just go ahead and tremor, tremor, tremor. 4, 3, as fast as you can. 2, flushing it out. 1, second leg, tremor. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. One big flushing punch kick with each leg. like you're trying to punt a soccer ball, like down the road a mile. Yeah. So just one punch kick, boom, on each leg. I invite you to come back to your seat. Feeling your sits bones easing into the chair. Take a little twist and look behind you. So your spine is getting a little towel ring there. Second side. Thank you. Deep breath. You're invited to find your spine long and tall. Let your shoulders float wide away from each other, even if it's just a little micro movement. Place your hands anywhere you want. Allow your eyes to soften, and let's do a quick body scan. You just took your body and did a little bit of flushing and unsettling. So there may be things that just start to talk back to you. So all you have to do right now is close your eyes if you'd like, or let your gaze fall downward. Both are fine. And take a moment to let the spotlight of your mind just scan different parts of the body. Go first to the area that feels like it magnetizes you most. And just make note of it. Does that particular body part have any special needs that it's asking for? Is it requesting more calm, or is it requesting more activity? Just notice it. Just listen. Like, okay, got it. And then take the spotlight of your awareness, drop it down, almost as if you wanted to slide like hot melted butter all the way down through the legs into the feet. So the spotlight of your awareness is noticing how much of your foot is making contact with the ground. If you're wearing shoes, notice how it feels to have the shoes encapsulating your feet. Notice where you feel contact, either with the floor or with the shoe. As you breathe, scan a little higher, coming through the calf and the shin. Spotlight of the awareness, glancing into the knees. That spotlight continues to shine, moving through the thighs into the pelvis, scoping through the pelvis, just like a little lighthouse searchlight going around. Just how's the weather in there? Yeah. And the spotlight of your awareness moving up as if it's on an elevator. Your mind taking a special focus right underneath the rib cage where your diaphragm is like a big, like floating balloon. And then move the awareness into the left side of your chest. And then with your next breath, like a horseshoe, ping it into the right side of the chest. Let your breath get a little longer on the exhalation. I invite you to do another kind of lighthouse spin as soon as you reach the throat. Let your awareness spin. So see if you can actually sense the back side of the body as much as you sense the front side of the body using that rotating lighthouse. That awareness as a beam looking around. Spin a little bit of that awareness down into the shoulders and arms, surging into the hands, and take a moment to actually notice each digit one at a time. So start with one hand and glance at the thumb, glance at the index finger. Use your mind's eye to connect with that middle finger. ring finger, pinky finger, and then spin that spotlight over to the second hand, glancing at how's that thumb doing? How's the index, middle, ring, pinky, and then slow arrival into the cranium. Start in the jaw, if you would please. Bring your awareness into the jaw. Wiggle the jaw back and forth. Exhale deeply. And I want you to spin your awareness, if you would please, towards the back of your skull. So just notice, see if you can notice the weight of your hair on the scalp. Notice where your clothing is hitting the back of your neck, or maybe a hat touching your scalp. Feel the back side of the body. And then, after you've checked in on the back side of the body, shine your spotlight through the front, where you usually take in information from the world. That area gets used abundantly. So that's why we're letting it just yawn itself open without giving a whole lot of attention to it. Let your spine elongate as if you've got air and light warming up the space in between each vertebrae. And helium light just floating the spine. Shoulders are floating away from each other, so you're getting broader. Take one big breath. And then I invite you to drag your hands closer to the core of your body. Let your hands clasp each other and then slowly open your eyes. As you're breathing, rubbing the hands. And our body scan tonight is going to get a little remixed. As you're rubbing your hands, I'm going to invite you to float your hands apart. We're going to clap the hands once, loudly and firmly towards each other. It's going to send a slight kind of tremor and tingle into the hands, but just hold that strong slap and just see what you notice. 1, 2, 3. And just see where it reverberates through the hand. Thank you. Will you please take the fingertip and gently rub lightly underneath the chin on a long neck. So think of your neck as behaving as something of a stick, and your skull is like a donut on the stick. So it can kind of tilt in all directions. So just kind of let it tilt while you're just lightly caressing, and use the backs of your fingers to get under the chin. This is where you have a lot of glands in your endocrine system. So just give some light stimulation under the chin, the endocrine system. And then if your hands are still tingling, let them just melt down. Enjoy that little fuzzy hand feeling of the tingle. And as they light down somewhere on your legs, your hips, take another deep breath. And what did you notice about your body today? And it can change every day.